Hey everybody, it's Ryan. We are back with another video, and in today's video, we are going to be doing my final NBA mock draft. I'm going to have all 30 NBA picks in my video, so it might be a little quick on some of the reasonings, but let's get right into it. So with the first pick in the NBA draft, I have the Minnesota Timberwolves taking LaMelo Ball. Probably the best player in this draft, and a lot of people think it will be Anthony Edwards, but a lot of people also think it will be LaMelo Ball. Either way, the Timberwolves should be getting a really good player here at number one. LaMelo Ball, the great passing skills, the great shooting skills that could develop, and all around just a great player to go alongside D'Angelo Russell. So for the Golden State Warriors at number 2, if they keep their pick, because they could trade it, if they keep their pick, I'm doing this if they all keep their picks, I have the Warriors going with James Wiseman. Warriors have a big hole at center. James Wiseman is the perfect big man to fill it, 7'1". He should just be a great NBA center for sure. Now for the Charlotte Hornets. For the Charlotte Hornets at number 3, I think since he wouldn't be on the board here, LaMelo Ball would be a good pick here, but I think since he's not picked one, Anthony Edwards would go number 3 here to the Hornets. Anthony Edwards is another great player in this draft to go alongside Devontae Graham or Terry Rozier, whatever one they run at the 1. The Hornets also could go a big man. I could see Onyeka Okongwu go here if Wiseman's still not on the board for them, but that is the pick I go with for them. Now for the Bulls, number 4 overall pick, I go with Deni Avdija to the Bulls. Now they need a wing. The Bulls need a wing. Otto Porter just isn't it for the Bulls. They have their point guard in the future, Kobe White. They have Zach LaVine. They have their big men, Lauri Markkanen and Wendell Carter. They just need a good wing to solidify this team. Deni Avdija, he could either be the best player in this draft or the worst player. We'll have to see. I think he'll go number 4, though, to the Bulls. At number 5, I have the Cleveland Cavaliers selecting Kevin Love's replacement. I think he gets traded this offseason. I think the Cavs go with Obi Toppin, one of my favorite players from college this season on my favorite college team, the Dayton Flyers. Obi Toppin's just an absolute monster. He should definitely be having some highlight reel dunks, and the Cavs should be happy to get this player. So now for the Atlanta Hawks. This is an interesting pick here, but I'm going to go with Killian Hayes for the Hawks to go alongside and pair up with Trae Young. He could also be their backup point guard as well. I think he's just too good to pass up here for the Hawks. He's a bunch of different tools in Killian Hayes. I think the Hawks should take him here at number 6. Now for the Detroit Pistons, I got to go with one of the best players in the draft. Got to go with Tyrese Halliburton here at number 7. Just an absolute great player to go here with the Pistons, to go alongside Derrick Rose and Blake Griffin. If they do decide to keep them, I think the Pistons should personally trade those players and continue to tank. But Tyrese Halliburton's just a great player to add to that Pistons roster and get ready, geared up for the future for the Pistons. Now for the New York Knicks, they just need a player. They need a player here, and I think they will go with Devin Vassell at number 8. That is my pick for the Knicks, a good wing for them to add to their team because they don't really have that. They have R.J. Barrett, but besides that, it's pretty weak. Kevin Knox is just not great. So I think the Knicks would be well suited here to take Devin Vassell. Now for the Washington Wizards, at number 9, I think Onyeka Okongwu, if he fell to 9, would be the perfect pick for the Wizards. They need a big man badly. Their centers aren't that great. Thomas Bryant and Ian Mahinmi. Yeah, they need a center, and I think Onyeka Okongwu is the great pick here. Number 10. Now this pick could change because the Suns did just trade for Chris Paul, but I still think this is a good pick because they need another good guard to back up Chris Paul. I think Kira Lewis Jr. is just a great pick here for the Suns, especially because Chris Paul's old as well. Kira Lewis Jr., just such an underrated player in this draft class. I think he's well deserving of top 10, and I think he goes here to the Suns. Now my pick for the Spurs is the perfect pick for the Spurs if he falls this far. Number 11, I have the Spurs taking Isaac Okoro to be that wing that they desperately need. Besides DeMar DeRozan, the Spurs don't have much, and DeRozan's old. LaMarcus Aldridge is old. The Spurs, I think, have got to go into rebuild mode. I know Greg Popovich doesn't like to do that, but Isaac Okoro gets them started well on track to rebuild. Sacramento Kings, they need a good forward as well because Harrison Barnes isn't really doing it. At number 12, I'll have them taking Patrick Williams. I think that would be just the perfect player to go here for the Kings, and especially if Buddy Hield gets traded, they can move some pieces around. Patrick Williams could slide in nicely at the 3 or the 4, and I think that's just the perfect pick here for the Kings. Number 13, another forward. We're getting a lot of forwards here. Pelicans need one as well, next to Zion and Brandon Ingram. He could play off the bench as well. I have Saddiq Bey here going to the Pelicans, just the perfect player here for the Pelicans. He can play a bunch of different positions. He's a great defender, and he could pair up nicely with Zion and Brandon Ingram, as I said. Now for the Boston Celtics, my team, we have yet another forward here. I think the perfect pick here for the Celtics would be Jalen Smith. He could play center because he is 6'10". Celtics need a bigger guy in there. They just need a bigger guy in there, and I think he's perfect here at number 14. So Saddiq Bey would be another good pick here, but he just went the pick prior. So yeah, I think Jalen Smith would be a great pick here for the Celtics. Orlando Magic, they need a good guard, forward, whatever. The Magic, Aaron Nesmith is the perfect pick here at number 15 to go alongside Markelle Fultz and Evan Fournier at the 3, because they have Aaron Gordon as well. Jonathan Isaac, he's banged up, and they could obviously trade one of these players, Fournier or whatever. But yeah, I think Aaron Nesmith's just the perfect player here for the Magic to draft here at number 15. Number 16, I have the Portland Trailblazers getting a great player to go alongside Damian Lillard if they do trade CJ McCollum, or just a good player in general. I think at number 16, the Portland Trailblazers will take Tyrese Maxey, just a good player from Kentucky in college. I liked what I saw out of him. I think number 16 is the perfect place. Number 17, the Timberwolves are back after their number 1 selection of LaMelo Ball. At number 17, I have them taking a forward this time because they're pretty weak there. They obviously have LaMelo at this. If they did this, LaMelo, D'Angelo, Cat, but then those other 2 positions are still weird. So I think Jaden McDaniels is the perfect pick here at number 17 for the Minnesota Timberwolves to add to that team to play alongside Cat. Now, number 18, a very underrated player in this draft, a perfect player for the Mavs who desperately need a good point guard because Jalen Brunson, they're kind of average there. At number 18, I have the Dallas Mavericks selecting Tyrell Terry from Stanford. Absolutely great, underrated player. Another very underrated player in this draft class. I think number 18 is the perfect place for him to go to the Mavs. Now, at number 19, the Brooklyn Nets. I don't know if they're going to get James Harden or not, but this pick could change. But I have them taking at number 19, I have them taking Desmond Bane out of TCU. I think he'd be the perfect player to go alongside Dinwiddie. LeVert's there as well. KD, Kyrie. They have good guards in Kyrie, Dinwiddie, and LeVert, but Desmond Bane is just another great player to slide in there for the Nets, and this pick could always be traded as well. So Desmond Bane, I think, is a great pick here for the Nets. Number 20, I have the Miami Heat going with a forward because they're kind of weak there. Jay Crowder and Kelly Olynyk, and obviously Jimmy Butler's kind of both, but I think this would be a great player here. He can also play center, but they have Bam Adebayo there. So I think power forward is where he'd slide in. I have the Heat taking Aleksej Pokusevski at number 20. A fun name to say as well. He's very thin for his weight, too. He's under 200 pounds for a 7-footer. This would be a great Mavericks pick as well, but I think they're just more suited to get a point guard because they have KP, Kristaps Porzingis. Pokusevski is just a great pick here for the Heat at 20. Now, falling to 21, this would be great for the Sixers. They absolutely need a shooter. They desperately need this. At number 21, I have the Philadelphia 76ers taking Cole Anthony, the perfect player to put alongside Ben Simmons. Cole Anthony is just such a good player out of college. I think he falls to 21, but that's just a steal if you are the Sixers. I think he's a great compliment to Ben Simmons, as I said, and it would be very cool to see that duo in that Sixers backcourt. Number 22, we have the Denver Nuggets taking the position they're probably weakest at is forward. They have Michael Porter. They could slide him to the 2 or Gary Harris. Yeah, Gary Harris isn't that great. But at number 22, I have the Denver Nuggets taking Precious Achiuwa. If he fell to number 22, this is just another great pick here for the Nuggets to make, to just add another forward to their team. And the Nuggets are a great team, so this could just make them even better. Number 23 of the Utah Jazz taking a guard. I have them taking Josh Green here at number 23. A great player you can put alongside Donovan Mitchell. Obviously, Joe Ingles is getting older. Bogdanovich is kind of old as well. So Josh Green is just the future here for the Utah Jazz. A great pick for them at 23. For the Milwaukee Bucks at number 24, I I have them taking Jahmi'us Ramsey, a guard, because they're kind of weak at guard. Eric Bledsoe's okay, but he might get traded sometime. We don't know. And Dante DiVincenzo's here and there. He didn't really show up in the playoffs. I think Jahmi'us Ramsey's just the perfect player to help. The Bucks don't have a great bench either, so Jahmi'us Ramsey's just the perfect player to throw in there and help out the Bucks. Now, if this happened to the Thunder, getting this player at 25, this is just a steal, especially because they just lost Chris Paul. At number 25, I have the Thunder getting R.J. Hampton. This would be just such a great pick for the Thunder after losing Chris Paul. I would love this pick for the Thunder for the future. They definitely need a point guard now after trading Schroeder and Paul. I think R.J. Hampton is the perfect pick at 25. Number 26, my favorite team is back on the clock, the Boston Celtics at number 26. This is the pick I really want them to make with one of these other picks, 26 and 30. Theo Maledon, I have him going 26. Just the perfect player for the Celtics. They need a backup point guard. Brad Wanamaker is not that great. They need a good backup point guard to help Kemba Walker out. And I think Theo Maledon is the perfect guy to fit in that role. He had a pretty good run in the International League, and I think he'd be great on the Boston Celtics. So New York Knicks back on the clock here at 27. I have them taking a big man because they could trade Mitchell Robinson. They could also play this guy at the 4 because he is 6'9", but he's listed as a center. I think the Knicks, if he fell here, Isaiah Stewart would be a great pick here for the Knicks. The Knicks just continue to get better. Apparently he's reminding people of a Vincent Poirier type player. That's what I read here, which is interesting because he's on my team. I just thought that was weird, but yeah, I think the Knicks would do great here with Isaiah Stewart at 27. Number 28, I have the Oklahoma City Thunder are back on the clock because they get that Laker pick now. At number 28, I have them going Immanuel Quickley here at 28, another guard to help out that team. Shea can play the 3 if they need, and this guy can play the 2. Another great player here for the Thunder, I think, at 28. Thunder are just building for the future, and this is just another pick in the tank for them. 29. This is a controversial pick because he is a senior. He is old, but I think this would be a great pick for the Raptors at 29. I have them going with Peyton Pritchard out of Oregon. I think he can be a first-round sleeper. I think he could get in there just because of the sheer experience and talent that Peyton Pritchard shows. I know people are scared to draft seniors, but Peyton Pritchard just showed really good talent in college. I think the Raptors would be great to pick him here. Obviously, Kyle Lowry's getting older, and they could definitely use a player to go alongside him. So finally, the final pick in the first round. We're not going to do second-round mock or anything like that. The Celtics are back again at 30 with their third pick, and I've been taking another big guy because they obviously took the forward there that I picked, Jalen Smith. I have them taking Zeke Naji at 6'11". He could play the center if they don't get Miles Turner or something like that I'd like to see. I think Zeke Naji would be a great pick here for the Celtics at number 30. So that is going to be it for my mock draft, everybody. This is my final one. I did one a long back time in June if you want to check that one out and compare. But thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, guys.